Yes, people, it's game week 10 in the Premier League. I go by the name of Flicks. Before I start today's Premier League review, you know what to do. Make sure to smash that like button, have your say in the comment section. And if you're new to my channel right now, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Again, I'll be much appreciated. Let's crack on with today's Premier League review for this weekend. Come on. So it's game week 10 in the Premier League. The tables are starting to hot up and it's starting to really pan out now. But Tottenham are sitting top of the league. Who would have thought that after 9 games? It's ridiculous, to be honest. Really ridiculous. Let's admit it. Who would have thought Tottenham sitting top of the league when they lost one of the best strikers in the world, in the Premier League, in Harry Kane, losing 30 goals straight away with him gone. But they've once again pulled a miracle, a top performance, all 3 points at the Lane against Fulham Monday night, and 2 points clear as we speak on 23 points, and going into Friday's game away to Crystal Palace at Selhurst Park. It can be a bit of a dodgy place at times, but we will get onto that topic in a sec. I'm just going to go through the fixtures for this weekend, and then we will carry on from there. So going on to this weekend's games, Friday night we got Tottenham going to Selhurst Park playing Crystal Palace. It can be a very dodgy place at times for teams. We have seen it happen. Going on to Tottenham as well. Yes, they're unbeaten against Crystal Palace in the last 3, but before that they lost 3-0 back in the 21 season. Hopefully, me being a Spurs boy, obviously, they can keep that unbeaten run going, because no disrespect to Sheffield United, but they've got Arsenal this weekend, and on paper Arsenal will most probably walk over Sheffield United, and they're unbeaten as well. So hopefully the Spurs can carry on that momentum, banging the goals, banging the 3 points, and 0 losses continue for this weekend coming. So yes, Tottenham is still unbeaten, 2 points clear as we speak. So we will see what happens there Friday night. Then we move on to Chelsea versus Brentford, and then we've got Arsenal versus Sheffield United at the Emirates. Then we've got Bournemouth versus Burnley. Wolves welcome Newcastle to the Molineux, and then on to Sunday we've got West Ham versus Everton at West Ham. Then we've got Aston Villa welcoming Luton. Brighton versus Fulham at Brighton. Then we got Liverpool versus Forest at Anfield. Then we got the Manchester Derby, Man United versus Man City at Old Trafford. Interesting game there. Moving on to Friday's game first, Tottenham's visit to Selhurst Park. Like I said, it can be a dodgy place at times, and losing 3-0 back in the 21 season, let's hope that doesn't happen this time around. I'm hearing Palace have got a few injuries, so we will see what happens there. But hopefully, obviously me being a Spurs boy, we can bag the win and keep that momentum going and stay top of the league for another weekend, and obviously being 2 points clear as well. It'll be interesting anyway. Let's see it, because we're only 9 games in. Still early days, but anything can happen. Anything can happen with a flip of a coin. Let's face it. And Spurs being Spursy for many years, you never know. But hopefully Ange Ball keeps playing and the momentum keeps going. Basuma should be back, so we will see what happens. Then we got Chelsea, Brentford. Chelsea have been picking up some wins, but Brentford are unbeaten in the last 3 against Chelsea. I didn't realise that until a few minutes ago. But with Chelsea picking up points on the board and slowly creeping up that table, being at Stamford Bridge as well, I can only see a Chelsea win. So let me I think go on to the score. So going back onto Friday night's game, I'm going to say a straight 2-0 Spurs. And then back onto the Chelsea versus Brentford. I reckon Chelsea might edge this one. I'm going to say 2-1 Chelsea. And then we've got Arsenal playing Sheffield United at the Emirates. This is only going one-way traffic, and Arsenal are unbeaten in all 4 visits, welcoming Sheffield United for this game. Arsenal 4-0 for me. Then we've got Bournemouth and Burnley. Both need a win. Bournemouth have not won a game in these first 9 games. Burnley have only won 1, and if I remember rightly, that was against Luton. They just about beat Luton 2-1 a few weeks back. So both need a win, both need points because they're sitting bottom. As I say, yeah, they're both in the bottom 3 as I speak. So both need a win, both desperate. This is a tricky one. First of all, I thought possibly a 1-1 boring draw, but being at Bournemouth, again, it can be a bit of a dodgy place at times, a bit like the Palace. So for me, I'm going to say a Bournemouth to edge this one. I'm going to say Bournemouth 2, Burnley 1. And then we've got Wolves versus Newcastle at the Molineux. Newcastle on fire. They were very unlucky the other night versus Dortmund. So for me, a Newcastle win. I'm going to say Newcastle 3-1 versus Wolves. And saying that, Newcastle are unbeaten in the last 2, but they did lose 2-1 to Wolves back in the 21 season. Same as us versus Palace. Then we move on to Sunday. Then we move on to Sunday's games. West Ham versus Everton. For me, West Ham being demolished 4-1 by Villa last weekend. West Ham need a win, especially being at home. I'm going to say 3-1 West Ham. Then we got Aston Villa versus Luton. One-way traffic for me. Aston Villa are absolutely firing. For me, 4-0 Aston Villa. Then we got Brighton Fulham. For me, Brighton, especially being at home as well, I'm going to say Brighton 3-1 against Fulham. Then we've got Liverpool and Forest. 3-0 Liverpool for me. And then the Manchester derby. United are absolutely poor. They just about scraped a win versus Copenhagen in the Champions League. Man City have lost 2 games already in the Premier League. For me, I didn't personally see that coming because their squad is just something else, even though they've had a few injuries coming, like De Bruyne missing, massive loss for them. But I do think City will get this one. For me, City 3-1 versus Man United. And just quickly before I go on to the table, how it's panned out at the moment, I've just seen the Aston Villa and Luton. Obviously, I said 4-0 Aston Villa when they play Luton at Villa Park, but Luton are actually unbeaten in the last 3 games versus Aston Villa, going back to 2016, 2013 and 1992. That's just crazy. Didn't know that till now, but yeah, but can't see this one. I can't see a Luton win. No disrespect to Luton, but Aston Villa are absolutely firing right now, especially after that win against West Ham last week, and I didn't see that scoreline coming. And I suppose you guys at home didn't see that coming as well, but for me, that was an interesting little fact there. So the Premier League tables as we speak, Tottenham are sitting in first, played 9, won 7, drawn 2, lost none, goal difference 12, and we're sitting pretty with 23 points on the board as we speak. Man City in second, won 7, lost 2 already. Who would have thought that? Just like I said, goal difference 12, and they're on 21 points. Then we've got Arsenal in third, 0 losses as well. They're on 21 points. Then we've got Liverpool in fourth, 1-6 on 20 points. Then we've got Aston Villa in fifth, 1-6 on 19. Then we've got Newcastle just behind them. They're on 16 points, 1-5. Brighton 7th. They're on 16 points. Manchester United 8th. Crazy. Who would have thought that? After many seasons of them dominating the league with Fergie, but come on, that's quite some time ago now. They're actually on 15 points. West Ham in 9th, they're a point behind Man United on 14. Then we've got Chelsea, another top 6 team on paper, sitting in 10th. They've only won 3 games on 12 points, but they're slowly creeping up with old Pochettino there. Then we've got Crystal Palace, 11th. They've won 3 on 12 points as well. Wolves in 12th, they won 3 on 11. Fulham in 13th, won 3 on 11. Brentford, sitting in 14th, sorry, they've won 2. They're on 10 points, along with Nottingham Forest are on 10, in 15th in the league. Then we've got Everton, 16th in the league, only won 2 on 7 points. And then we've got the bottom 3, Luton in 7th, sorry, Luton, bottom 4, correct me there. Luton are on 5 points, only won 1, along with Burnley, who are in the bottom 3 now, 18th, only won 1. They're on 4. Then we've got Bournemouth in 19th with 0 wins, 3 points. Then we've got Sheffield United at bottom of the league, again 0 wins on 1 point. So there you have it. That's the league standings as we speak. But some interesting games there. Tottenham versus Palace Friday night. Like I said, Selhurst Park can be a very dodgy place at times. Then we've got Brentford versus Chelsea. Again, like I said, Brentford are unbeaten in the last 3, but Chelsea are slowly creeping up. They've got some wins behind their belt, so that'd be an interesting game there. Then we've got the Manchester derby, sorry. Again, that could be an interesting one there, a tasty one. United, obviously they're going to want to win this Manchester derby, but City as well. Got a couple of wins behind their belt as well, so that'd be an interesting tie there. Possibly Brighton and Fulham could be an interesting tie, along with West Ham and Everton. So a couple of interesting fixtures there. So we will see what happens. But have your say in the comment section. What do you reckon the scores will be? What do you reckon your football team score will be this weekend? Interesting ties, but for me, like I said before the start of the video, make sure to smash a like, sub to the channel if you're new right now. Again, I'll be much appreciated. Let's crack on. Let's